Ghanaian Times this morning. VRA government clash over privatisation of T3. We were told yesterday that officers of the VRA was kind of seen because workers had decorated the whole place with red, and they were demanding that government decision to get a Mary to repair a portion of that plant and operate it for 5 years be stopped immediately. Now, according to them, they named 3 assets: the Takrady International Company, the Tico 3, parcel of land at Bong, which according to the government had given to a third party to manage, and the mine reserve plan at the thermal power station. Now, the workers had earlier sent a letter hinted management that they would embark on a series of legitimate actions effective Thursday if these were not stopped immediately. Now, we're told finally that the Minister of Finance, workers and management of VRA were in a meeting at the close of yesterday to deal with this and trying hard to resolve the impasse. Mr. George Lowe, so now...
I thought you were going to do outgoing and incoming.
Okay. Outgoing, George.
You miss the incoming badly.
Great.
We need to make that
All right. So, government is ceding this plant to Mary. I'm sure you have information on that.
Well, I think that that's the information in the public domain. I will not sit here and pretend that I know I have all the facts, but it's clear that there was some kind of agreement, and the workers are not happy about it. And it's good that there is this discussion going on. But I think that moving forward, this should be lessons for us. Why? Because you remember the civil aviation matter. The land issue. Not too long ago, they were also up in arms because they believed that government had taken a certain decision they were not happy with. We should just know that corporate governance, we should get each party involved in our discussions. This, as they themselves have said, was a communication problem. And that problem should be resolved clearly, in a very mutual manner. We are talking about energy here. We already have an energy issue. So if VRA is going to go clash with government over these things, you never know how it will affect, our energy delivery, because they are a key stakeholder when it comes to delivery of energy. So I believe that it shouldn't be lost on us at all. That once workers are one of your major publics, in administration, major publics are stakeholders in the delivery of service, they should be involved every inch of the way. I'm sure that because the workers have not said that they are even against it. They said that how come that this decision has been taken without consulting them, without consulting VRA? And for me, I think that would have been a very simple issue if you had consulted and brought them along. Because we understand that even some of the workers of VRA are supposed to have continued working on the plant, even though Ameri would have taken it over, So I believe that is yes a major communication lapse, and these things we should watch them.
Well, what about the concerns that government would only need to fix a broken part of that plant, and yet government is ceding it out to Mary?
Well, you see, when you look at the totality of VRA itself, has their problems. I'm sure we all know they have financial challenges. They have many other things. I happen to serve in some small capacity with remotely connected with VRA, so sometimes I know I get information about their financials and things like that, and it doesn't look good. It's now that, as I think in the last few weeks we've discussed how government is trying to re-engineer all these things so that they stay afloat and actually better their delivery. So maybe government thinks that, look, some of these plants are giving us too much headache in terms of running, cash flow and things like that. And so if Ameri would come in there and be able to do it, why not? But I'm saying that even if that is the situation, consult the major stakeholders. Workers are major internal publics that you cannot avoid in this. They can sabotage you if they so wish. We are happy. I'm happy that at least they are coming out to the fore to challenge the status quo. They said, well, let's sit down and let's understand exactly what we are doing. I think that we are lucky to get to this stage. The most important thing is that we should quickly resolve the issue and move on.
Incoming George.
Yeah.
The energy issue is quite a difficult one, and the African Center for Energy Policy is suggesting that what government is doing is wrong, and that instead of giving it out to Mary, fix the plant and get VRA to still continue operating it.
First, let me say that a situation where workers seem to always be at loggerheads with government, especially in the energy sector, is not a healthy situation. This is not a situation that any well-meaning Ghanaian would wish for any government. But if you go back and you remind yourself about the much touted pillars of transparency and accountability and open governance, you realize that there's a total disconnect between a lot of these start stop things that are happening. And clearly it looks like the people that are advising Mr. President are not giving him the real advice or the best advice. Like outgoing George said, you do not want a situation where there's poor stakeholder engagement. And you cannot say that you are running a transparent, open government, okay, and then there are always issues with stakeholder engagement. The workers are a significant pillar or a significant stakeholder in this transaction. The workers feel that the transaction is flawed, right, because there's no value for money benefit. They may be right, they may be wrong, okay? But if they had been properly engaged, like Senior George had said, if that kind of proper communication had taken place prior to this transaction being almost closed, you wouldn't have had a situation where you're in, where the workers are threatening to shut down VRA. And you can imagine the implications of such an action. I'm glad that the news reports seem to suggest that there has been a hold on this transaction as of now. I'm glad that the news report seems to suggest that there have been an effort for some kind of a dialogue to take place. But I also heard on one of the radio stations yesterday that even though the rep from the ministry was saying that the meetings were going on, the sources from the workers were saying that the meeting did not take place because the workers had requested that their board should be there, and it wasn't per their rules of engagement to meet with the ministry without the presence of their board. So even in trying to fix the problem, the government is still digging itself into a deeper hole. And you ask yourself that, why are we going through these problems? I mean the technocrats know what they are supposed to do. The ministers should know what they are supposed to do. So you do these mistakes, and at the end of the day, you have X smash in the office of face of the president, and he has to take the blame. But I think the president needs to crack the whip. There've been too many, for want of a better expression, and excuse my language, there's been too many goofs. Okay, there's been too many slips as far as governance is concerned, and you always have to take a decision, then you come back and you change, you increase the price of electricity, then you come back and you change. I mean, it's like, where's the proper planning? Running the government is not child's play. That is why we are saying that we should vote for change in 2016. We need Nanado and the MPP to come and make Ghana work again. We need this change. I mean, Ghana is slipping. Ghana is in a situation of crisis. There's crisis almost everywhere. I mean, we talk about crisis in energy sector. We talk about crisis in production. We talk about crisis in economic management. I mean, recently, you know that even the loan that the government was going for, they're saying that the timing is not right. Okay, so they have withdrawn the loan. They have withdrawn the process. So there's certainly challenges that we're going through. It's not the wish of any Ghanaian for our country to go down. If Ghana goes down, it doesn't go down for NDC alone. It goes down for all of us. And so all of us should be part of the process to fix this thing. And that is why we need for the MPP to be voted into power to turn the situation around. Our guys have done 8 years. They've done what they can do. I mean, like George has decided that he's not going to go again. Did you?
No, please. I didn't decide.
Oh, they voted you out. You didn't go through your primaries?
Yes, I didn't go through.
They didn't like you?
Well, they took a decision.
But they didn't like you. They took a decision. I work with you.
No.
George,
they took a decision.
Anyway, but the bottom line is that I think I think Ghanaians should remember some of these things. Somebody says the Ghanaians are forgetful people. I don't think that's what it is. I think Ghanaians are very level-headed. I think Ghanaians know what is good for Ghana. I think Ghanaians will give everybody the opportunity, and I think it's time for Ghanaians to give the opportunity to Nana Addo and the NPP.
I see. Okay. All right. I'm grateful for that one. Now,